Alright, hello everybody. This is going to be like a short mini addendum experiment to my long-form Braid analysis series called Untangling Braid. And I've always wondered, like, what Tim's actions with all the rewinding and craziness of different mechanics would look like from the perspective of an external observer, right? So, like, in the text over here, they describe it nicely. We get Tim and the princess lounge in the castle garden, laughing together, giving names to the colorful birds. Their mistakes are hidden from each other, tucked away between the folds of time, safe, right? Because the whole point is they're rewinding and overwriting some section of time, and then, you know, from the perspective of someone else, the whole rewind bit never happened. They just see the final cut, right? And in all these puzzles, you're like moving levers around and stuff like that. And in some of the previous Untangling Braid videos I made, I talked about how in World 4, especially with this kind of two kinds of rewinding, because there's the rewinding where you're like holding shift, and then there's the rewinding of just walking backwards to the left, and then you can actually hold shift and undo your actions, and those have like slightly different consequences. So I've always been curious about this. In some of the other videos, I've like wildly gesticulated about like, oh yeah, Tim would be like disappearing and going all over the stage. But then I realized, like, wait a second, I'm making videos now. I can just do video editing and like speed up and slow down the video, and, you know, cut parts out and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do is exactly that, and we're gonna see what the final cut of Tim's actions look like as we just go through and solve ordinary puzzle levels and do the usual stuff. So I'm just going to run through some of these worlds and then edit them so that you see that final cut with all the overwritten mistakes hidden from you, tucked away between the folds of my video editing software. So we'll skip World 2 because there's no, you know, the mechanic here is it's just rewind and no like weird time magic, so if I cut out all the rewinding, it would just look like me being like a pro gamer speedrunner and like just not like messing up and just going straight through the level. World 3, on the other hand, would have like various impossible things happen, like a platform would suddenly disappear and like appear on the other side or something because you wouldn't see me like flip the lever because that was like hidden in a rewind or something like that. But then World 4 will be the craziest, and it's obviously the star of the show. As I was just describing, we have like two kinds of rewinds. And in some situations, Tim will be like disappearing and reappearing in other parts of the screen. Also, if we do this properly in World 4, you should hear like a continuous lullaby song with no, like here it's like playing and then it like stops. And so with editing, you should hear the lullaby song just playing constantly at the same speed, and Tim should be like always running to the right with no pauses. So we'll see about that. But anyways, so this is everyone's favorite worlds. So we'll just start here, and then we can go back and do a few levels from you know, World 3 or 5 or whatnot later on. Obviously, final comments. I won't be able to comment on the details of what happens in the world because obviously I'm just recording it now and I don't know what the final product is going to look like. But I've always...
And all of your comments will be chopped up.
Yeah, they'll all be chopped up. Yeah, so some of them will be backwards. It'd be crazy. But I've always wanted to see what it looks like. So I hope that you enjoy this as well. So let's get underway. Bouncing down here and then... Alrighty, so that is World 4. It's obviously a lot shorter when you cut out everything and just have Tim walking from one side to another. In fact, some of this might be confusing or something, so I don't know, maybe we could like splice in some of the full levels at the end of the video if we feel like it, but I don't know, you could also just watch Braid walkthroughs elsewhere or something. I'm assuming you're like a Braid super fan who knows the levels if you're watching these videos. But anyways, we'll run through one of the ones from World 3, not the whole thing, but just an illustrative one, and then maybe one of the ones from World 5, where we'll get to see Tim and the shadow like diverging without actually doing the recording first.
You didn't even jump to grab it. Puzzles because it just gonna look like I'm like skipping past them. I wonder if there's some way for me to like have other portions of the screen where or else have it just like grayed out when it doesn't. No, that one has. Yeah, and then there's just a boss fight where, what would that even look like? You just see a boss with 2 horns, right? And then it would just like flash back up to this. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so now we'll go to World 5. And by the way, I have been, in all these levels I've been showing you, I have been touching every puzzle piece, and some of them might look like I just walked right by a puzzle, but that's because I got it. It's like a shiny green puzzle piece, and then I rewound. That would be clearer if all the puzzles were still on the map rather than the empty icons, but I'm playing on like a completed save game, so sorry about that. But yeah, World 5. All right, so that is worlds 3 and 5, and of course we're not able to edit out like all of the little like the accelerations in world 4 where Tim is like stopping and starting and stuff, but hopefully that is enough to give you an idea, more than an idea than I have right now as I'm recording this video and just thinking about what it might look like. We could try to do world 6, but that would be even more of a nightmare to edit because the amount that the ring slows you down is actually non-linear. Like it's not like you're either in slow-mo or you're not. The ring slows you down to 20% normal speed, but if you're standing like on the border, then it slows you down. You know, it's intermittent. And also, this world 6 actually kind of already shows things from an external observer's perspective, right? Like think about it from Tim's perspective. He's like going in normal speed world, and then as he approaches the ring where everything's slowed down, everything is slowed down, including Tim himself, including like Tim's thoughts and his mental experiences and stuff like that. So it should feel, if you were standing inside the slow-mo ring, it wouldn't feel like you were moving in slow motion because your brain would also be thinking in slow motion. It would just feel like the rest of the world was going fast. So really, if Braid was going to show things from Tim's perspective, it would show the rest of the world speeding up and Tim just walking around at normal speed. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we could like attempt to do a demo video edit of that in this next level, but I don't think it would be kind of a nightmare to edit, and it would be hard to show a whole puzzle that way. Actually, let's do a more complex level.
Just like more layers of time.
Well, you had to make The Witness, which was a better game, so... but anyway, so that is all we're going to record at World 6. We could try and do World 1, but then everything in World 1 is just happening backwards, which you can already see just by holding Shift. So there's that. But I hope you really enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.